One interesting point about restoring this island was the source of funding. It was almost a gift that we got the BP money, which paid for the restoration of Queen Bess Island.
A lot of money, $19 million has been invested in restoring this place, which is critical habitat for our state bird, the brown pelican, and a great place to come catch a speckled trout.
Queen Bess is such a popular spot to fish around Grand Isle, a lot of it because it's so close. It is so close to the island itself that people don't have to travel far to get it. But what keeps bringing them back over and over is the fact that it is just a tremendous place to fish.
It's a beautiful spring day out here at Queen Bess Island near Grand Isle. We're catching speckled trout, and the pelicans are enjoying it too. And not only is it a great story of conservation, but also one of restoration.
Big goal is to not lose habitat. If we don't lose habitat, our fishermen are going to have an opportunity to get out there and catch some fish.
The restoration project here has taken this from an island that was sinking and falling apart to a place that's going to be here for 3 or 4 more decades. The elevation that they've built out here, the amount of sand that they've pumped in, and the rocks that they've put around it are going to make sure that vegetation grows here to hold the sand in place, and this place is going to be around for a long time.
You've got rocks all around it. You've got oyster reefs on one side of it. It's right next to a major thoroughfare for the shrimp and pogies and everything else as they start migrating back and forth from the marsh. That actually gives you a break in that current, gives that bait and everything a place to be. A lot of times, starting off early in the spring, you start fishing them with live shrimp, plastics under a carp. You can tight line them or work them rod and reel kind of thing.
Speckled trout.
As the spring goes on, you're going to find that pogies and croakers do you a whole lot better a lot of times, and you get a lot bigger fish here because we are catching more open water fish than your little marsh knotheads. A lot of times you got to adjust your efforts around Queen Bess because it'll get crowded here. But remember what I said about the way that it breaks the major current headed to the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of times your schools of shrimp and all will get on the outer edges where the current meets and where that current separates and meets because of the diversion of the island. And a lot of times that's where you catch it. When you hear us talking about we're fishing under the birds and all, a lot of times it's right here in this bay around this island because it has moved the shrimp down that current bank, and that's where you find them. For people that don't live here and the people, our folks that come in from out of town and stuff, not only do they like seeing the pelicans, they like seeing the dolphins and stuff, and then later in the spring when the fledglings actually get out and get to going around and walking the islands and learning how to swim, they really get a lot of interest out of that.
All right, so next time you come fishing at Grand Isle, stop here at Queen Bess Island and enjoy our state bird and catch a few fish while you're at it.
Well, if you're looking for a peaceful day of fishing, this isn't necessarily the place to do it. It gets loud, and those birds they just don't stop. They've got a good set of lungs on them. And then on the days when the wind's blowing and you have to fish downwind, it gets you got to get used to that smell of ammonia.